it's Georgia, Plant Selections Manager here at Monrovia, and today we are going to talk about some of my favorite plants for our low light, shady areas of the garden. First up is beautiful Hosta, of course. It's a classic shade garden plant. There are so many textures and forms and colors that Hosta can come in. This one right here is a lovely shade of blue. So you can see we've got blues here. Over here is another Hosta. This is cherry berry. Quite different, as much smaller foliage, lots of different variegation in there. So you can create a lot of fun textures with just Hosta in the garden, really. I love pairing that with something like a Heuchera. Heucheras are really super versatile, especially the dark foliage varieties. They can go into a little bit more sun. So if you have a spot that, you know, borders shade, but sometimes gets a little too much sun, I've got lots of that at my house. Heuchera is a great option for that. This one is Balboa Sunset. It has beautiful foliage, but again, like Hosta, Heuchera comes in so many different textures and sizes and colors as well, from reds to yellows to oranges. It's a really great plant for shade. And another option would be ferns. Ferns are, again, another classic. Lots of different textures to choose from. Something like this fern here, or a Jurassic fern from Dan Hinckley in the background. There's a lot of different, from deciduous to evergreen, lots of different options in the fern category. And then moving on to this lovely flowering pieris. If you're looking for more of an evergreen shrub, pieris is something for you in the garden. It has that lush, deep, dark, leathery foliage all year long. In the spring, oftentimes they'll get a burst of this red foliage along with the flowers, so you get this really beautiful show. They do love slightly acidic soil, so if you have an acidic soil, this is going to do really well. They like a little dappled shade, but can handle a little bit of sun. So again, in those sort of borderline areas, it's a great plant for you. Not many people have a really deep, deep, deep dark shade. A lot of it is sort of varied, so having a plant that can take both is really great. Another plant that loves acidic soil and is, again, good for that sort of intermediate shade to sun area is a rhododendron. Rhododendrons are another evergreen shrub. Beautiful spring flowers. They come in lots of different colors. This one here is Florence Parks. It is that gorgeous, deep purple color. They can handle both shade and sun. Typically, the larger foliage varieties handle a little bit less sun, so that's more full shade, and then the smaller foliage is going to be able to handle a little bit more sun. So that's a good little tip if you're at the garden center wondering what to look for. If you've got really dark shade, something with that deep, larger foliage is going to be really great for you. And then another one of my favorites, lastly, is aucuba. This is an aucuba from the Dan Hinckley collection. It's called Sunny Days. It has that gorgeous splash of bright yellow, which makes it awesome in the shade garden. You get that really bright punch. I love aucuba because it does handle deep, dark shade, and it can be a little bit on the drier side. So a lot of the shade plants that we find often like it a little bit more wet, but aucuba really can handle a bit more dry. So it's one of the few options for that kind of garden. And I love it for that, and for, of course, its beautiful foliage and bright spots in the garden. So there you have it. Those are a few of my favorite shade-loving plants. Remember, mixing textures and forms and colors are all really, really fun to do in the shade. You can see there's a lot of different options. If you'd like to find more options for your shade garden, you can go to monrovia.com.